All right, so this story just took another wild turn. After weeks of rumors, viral clips, and nonstop speculation surrounding JD Vance, Usha, and Erika Kirk, we're now hearing whispers that JD might be trying to win Usha back. And yeah, you heard that right. Apparently, after all the chaos, JD has reached out privately, emotional, regretful, and asking for another chance. Now, before we jump to conclusions, let's get one thing straight. None of this has been officially confirmed. There's no court filing or public announcement. But with how fast these rumors are spreading and how much is already out there, something's clearly going on behind the scenes. The question is this really a man trying to fix his marriage or just damage control after a scandal that won't die? Because between the viral turning point hug, Erika Kirk's cryptic posts, and JD's sudden emotional outbursts in public, this whole situation has gone from political controversy to full-on soap opera. And trust me, the internet is eating it up. So today, we're breaking down everything. The alleged begging messages, what insiders are saying about Usha's reaction, and whether this divorce is even real, or just another rumor that spiraled out of control. Let's get into it. Okay, to understand why people are even saying JD is begging for Usha back, we need to rewind to where this all started, the Erika Kirk scandal. You remember that clip, right? The one from the Turning Point event where Erika compared JD to her late husband and then gave him that now infamous hug? It was supposed to be a simple public moment, two political figures connecting over shared values, but the internet saw something else entirely. People started analyzing the body language, the tone, even the look in JD's eyes. Within hours, it turned from a moment of empathy to a rumor of emotional intimacy. Then came the whispers that JD and Erika had been in touch privately. Late night calls, texts, even insider claims of them meeting off camera. And Usha, she's been quiet through it all. But that silence, that calm, calculated silence, made people wonder if things behind the scenes were a lot more serious than anyone realized. That's when talk of divorce papers started swirling. So here's where things get tricky. Several gossip sites and political blogs have claimed that Usha filed for divorce after the scandal. But so far, there's been no official documentation. Nothing confirmed, nothing on record. Still, the timing of everything, Usha disappearing from public appearances, JD looking disheveled at events, and reporters hinting at marital separation, has made people believe there's at least some truth to it. One insider stated, Usha has emotionally checked out. Whether or not the papers are real, the marriage is done in every way that matters. Another claimed JD's team is working overtime to keep any personal developments under wraps, hoping it all blows over before the 2028 election cycle ramps up. So, official or not, the vibe is clear. There's trouble in paradise, and JD knows it. Now, this is where things start to sound straight out of a Netflix drama. According to multiple reports floating around X and Reddit, JD's been emotionally unraveling behind the scenes. Apparently, he's been reaching out to mutual friends, trying to talk to Usha, even writing what one insider called long emotional letters. One message, supposedly seen by a source close to the couple, said, "I know I've made mistakes, but please, don't let this be the end of us." And then there's the leaked clip. A video from a private event shows JD looking completely drained, telling a colleague, "I just want my family back." Was it real? Was it staged? Hard to say, but the internet's convinced it was a genuine moment, and it's added fuel to the rumor that JD's now doing whatever he can to patch things up. Here's the thing about Usha. She hasn't said a single word publicly. Not one. No interviews, no social posts, no denial, no confirmation, nothing. And that silence is speaking volumes. People close to her said she's been hurt but focused, basically channeling everything into her career and her kids. Another source said she's done being the quiet wife, and that this time, she's letting JD feel the weight of his choices. But it's that lack of public response that's really feeding the rumor mill. Because when you've got an entire internet waiting for one statement, and it doesn't come, people start writing their own version of the story. And in this case, the story is that Usha's moved on, while JD's trying to win her back. So let's talk about the begging reports, because that's what's blowing up online right now. A new piece from Politico Insider claimed that JD reached out privately to Usha multiple times in the last 2 weeks. One source described it as a series of emotional messages, where JD allegedly admitted he'd taken her for granted and lost sight of what mattered. Another insider, supposedly someone close to JD's campaign, said he's a mess. He's been skipping appearances, canceling interviews, and drinking more than usual. The big rumor? That JD tried to meet Usha face-to-face, but she refused. Now again, we can't confirm any of this, but it's being reported across multiple outlets, and the consistency of the details has made people believe there's something real here. And just when things were finally cooling down, Erika Kirk decided to post again. She shared this cryptic message on Instagram. You can't control the narrative when people crave chaos. It was deleted within hours, but not before the screenshots spread everywhere. People are interpreting that as her response to the JD drama, that she's not responsible for what's happening between JD and Usha. Then, on her podcast, she made a statement about being judged for empathy and said, "Sometimes people will twist your kindness into something else." No names, but come on, the timing says it all. So whether she meant to or not, Erika's keeping her name in the conversation, and it's driving people crazy. Meanwhile, JD's been showing cracks in public. At a recent church event in Ohio, he tried to talk about forgiveness and faith through failure, but people who were there say his voice shook and his eyes looked glassy. Someone even claimed he teared up mid-speech when talking about the importance of family. Clips of that speech went viral within hours, with captions like, "JD Vance finally breaks down." And honestly, it didn't look staged. It looked like a man under pressure, both personally and politically, because no matter how much his team tries to spin it, you can't fake that kind of exhaustion. The internet, as usual, is completely divided. Half the people think JD's finally being real, that this is the most human he's ever looked. The other half think it's all part of a PR strategy, that he's trying to rebuild sympathy before 2028. One viral tweet said, "JD Vance's campaign just became a reality show, and not in a good way." Another said, "He's begging for forgiveness from the public, not just his wife." And honestly, they're not wrong, because in politics, personal image is public image. And right now, JD's looks more fragile than ever. While Usha's stayed silent, people close to her haven't. A family friend reportedly stated, "She's sad, but she's not surprised. She saw this coming." Another said, "Usha's not the type to humiliate someone publicly, but she's also not going to save a situation that's already broken." That statement alone has been circulating like wildfire, because it kind of sums up where everyone thinks things stand. JD's holding on, and Usha's already let go. But then, another insider added a twist. Apparently, Usha's still taking his calls. Not often, but occasionally. So that opens the door to speculation. Is she softening up, or just being polite? No one really knows. And that's what keeps the internet hooked. From a political standpoint, this couldn't have come at a worse time. JD was being groomed as the next face of conservative politics. Family man, faith-driven, disciplined. But the more personal drama leaks out, the harder it becomes to keep that image intact. Donors are reportedly uneasy. A few even pulled out of recent fundraising events, worried that the scandal could distract from the message. Meanwhile, rival commentators are already calling him the next cautionary tale of political ego. And the irony's not lost on anyone. The guy who built his brand around family values, now facing rumors of losing his own family. So, is there any chance these two could actually work things out? Some people think so. A few sources claim Usha still has love and respect for JD. She's just done with the spotlight. Others say it's over for good, that she's finally found peace outside the political chaos. But the fact that JD keeps reaching out, allegedly calling, writing, even showing up at mutual events, means this story's still developing. There's no closure yet, just two people living through a public storm that doesn't seem to end. Online, the response is wild. TikTok edits are turning this into a full-blown tragedy arc. You've got captions like, "He had everything except loyalty." Reddit's filled with people debating whether Usha's silence is iconic or cold. And on X, one user summed it up perfectly. JD's not losing a wife, he's losing the last piece of his old life. That's how deep this story's gotten. It's not just gossip anymore. It's about image, ego, and how fast public love turns into public chaos. So where does this leave us? Right now, nothing's confirmed. No official divorce filings, no public statements, just a lot of speculation, and a man who looks like he's barely holding it together. Whether JD Vance is truly begging Usha to take him back, or whether this is just another internet-fueled story, one thing's certain. The cracks in his perfect image aren't going away anytime soon. And with Erika Kirk still hovering in the background, this scandal might only be getting started. What do you guys think? Is JD really trying to win Usha back? Or is this just his team's way of shifting the narrative? Let me know your thoughts below. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.